Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic, and today, well, an author who's featured a large number of times on the puzzle. I just looked it up, and today we'll catch Akash Dulani up with James Kopp and Jay Dyer in a statistic that will only interest those three people by reaching 23 times featured on the channel. And Akash's first feature was back in May over 4 years ago. And if you know the history of the channel, you know that was quite near the inception. Wow, hats off to Akash. He's been setting puzzles from well before Cracking the Cryptic was a thing for the Indian Sudoku Championships and World Sudoku Championships, etc. And they're always of a very consistent, quite approachable standard. Or I say always, I think there was once I was completely surprised with how hard it was. So that might happen again today, we shall see. But it's a lovely dual constraint puzzle where the clues do double duty. We'll look at that in a minute. Now, don't forget that on Patreon we now have the Tennis Anyone pack out, and we are getting we're getting loads of correct returns after we served that pack out, and the net result is people seem to like it a lot, and they're showing a lot of love for it, perhaps, let's say that. And that's very kind. Glum Hippo did most of the puzzles and indeed the fiendish final meta, but we helped a bit. So it's a good pack. Check it out on Patreon. Join us on Patreon if you haven't already. There's always loads of content. Today on the channel, Simon did his Friday crossword masterclass, another very tough puzzle on Fridays. The Times newspaper in London doesn't shade up its puzzles every day from Monday through Friday like the New York Times does, but it is often the case that Monday particularly is quite easy and Friday is quite hard, and that's why I think Simon likes to tackle Friday for the masterclass. But it's worth a look if you like cryptic crosswords. What else have we got going on? We've got all our apps. We've got Sven's SUDOKU PAD and our merchandise. They're all on the links under the video. The apps are great. There will be puzzles roughly of this standard, he said, guessing wildly. But anyway, give it a try. You may enjoy this. Now, what are the rules of Akash's puzzle today? Normal Sudoku rules apply. So we're going to put 1 to 9 in every row, column, and every 3x3 box. That's normal. A number outside the grid is both a frame sum for its column or row and a little killer clue for the indicated diagonal. Now we go on to explain what those means. So the number shows the sum of the first 3 digits in the row or column from that direction. So the first 3 digits under this 9 add up to 9. The first 3 here add up to 13. The first 3 here add up to 10, and the first 3 here add up to 12, and so on. However, the number also shows the sum of the indicated diagonal. So those digits add up to 14. Those ones add up to 13. They can contain repeats. And those are the rules. So all of these clues are doing double duty. There's only 10 of them, no given digits in the puzzle. And that's a mistake by me. Yes, that's a mistake that I've now corrected, because I noticed when I was putting it in the software that there was one given digit in the puzzle and that I mustn't forget to put it in the grid. And of course, therefore, I forgot to put it in the grid. And I have remembered now, and I've put it in the grid. Why is there a given digit there? Oh, okay, because it couldn't have been indicated by a little killer clue, because it would also, that little killer clue would have been an impossible frame sum clue. There we go, I've understood. Anyway, I am finally now going to get cracking on this puzzle. Let's get cracking. Okay, so these 9s are very obvious from the little killer clues there. Then these have to add up to 14. They're a 6 and an 8. So I'm unashamedly starting with the little killer clues. I'm going to add up 9 there, 12 there, and 17 there. That comes to 38. Now, there is a secret that I can share with you if you promise not to tell everybody. There is a standard number that is the sum of every row, column, and box in a Sudoku, and that number is 45. So if this box adds up to 45 and those cells add up to 38, then the other 3 add up to 7, and they must contain a 1, a 2, and a 4. I don't think that gives us a constraint over these two in the 19 diagonal, which I was rather expecting. But still, we get a 1, 2, 4 triple. Now, This can't have a 4 in it or a 9, and it adds up to 12. That is 5, 7. These are 3, 6, 8. By the way, I still feel like I'm rather recovering from yesterday's snake puzzle. I got lured into a snake puzzle by the one a week ago that was actually very, very approachable. Sorry, Simon, I'm not taking your call now. I'm not apparently switching it off either. There we go. I'm going to do this puzzle instead. So, yeah, I still feel like my brain is battling fatigue from that. I know Simon does hour-and-a-half long videos regularly, but for me, I find it very tough. I'm from a background of kind of speed solving, and in the World Sudoku Championship, if you took an hour and 15 minutes to solve a puzzle, the round would probably have finished before you did. Anyway, where did we get to? Oh, now, these add up to 12. That can't be an 8, because you'd need 3 and 1. Yes, this is... Oh, those all have to be minimum to add up to 9. That is more straightforward. So we can go 1, 3, 5. That becomes 7. These can't be 3, so that one's now a 6. That's an 8. These are 2 and 4, and that works. They do add up to 12. Now, it's 19 here, not sure. 10 here, don't know. But 10 here, is that better? No, 9 here, that's where to go. A 6 and a 2, 1 pair. 14 here. Now, we can use the secret again. If those add up to 14, we know that these add up to 26, and that must be a 5. So these are 3, 4, and 7. Now, how's this 13 sum coming along? Not particularly interestingly. That is a 21 sum, which seems more interesting than the 21 little killer. It's got to, could be 984 still. We're kind of running out of clues now. Now, hang on. 19 plus 17 in this box. Those add up to 9. But they don't have to have a 1 in, which is a pity because we'd know where the 1 was if they did. 13 there and 19 here, that's 32. These also add up to 13. That's not helpful. It's getting a bit trickier now, isn't it? 5, 3, 1, 9, 6. By Sudoku, this is 2, 4, 7, or 8. Now, on this 10 diagonal, this is 8, which it can't be, or 6, or 3, or 2, and all of those it can be. Those are 13, those are 19. Do they need a 9? No. It's got harder. 12 there, 9, 8, 5, 1. Can't go into these totally blank boxes. I just need some more help. Right, there's a 1 in one of those 2 cells. I know it can't be there. That's by Sudoku. It has to be in one of those 3 by Sudoku, where it goes in row 8. Can't be there because of this 19 sum. Now, if it was there, this would be 1, 9, 7. That would be 2, 3, 4. This would be 5, 6, 8. That all seems possible. If I missed something very obvious here. If that was a 2, these have to add up to 16. Oh, that's brilliant. If this was a 2, 1 and 2 is 3. These have to add up to 16 for the 19 diagonal. But that can't be 9, 7, or 8, so they can't do it. So that is a 4. Now these two have to add up to 14. And that, I think, this could be 5 or 6 and achieve that. But this can't be a 9. So 8 here and 6 here. Now that's taken 6, 4 out of that 10 as a possibility. This adds up to 17. Can that be a 1? No, no longer, because that would need to be an 8 to make the sum work. So we get a 1 there in a 9 sum, which is either 3, 5 that way round or 6, 2 the other way round, as it were. These add up to 19 and they don't have an 8 in, so now they do have a 9 in. Yeah, that's right. And 2 digits adding up to 10, which are not 1, 9 or 8, 2. They're either 3, 7, which would have to be here and here, or 6, 4. And these add up to 9. I don't know what to do with those. Okay, so still it was progress. It was something. This is a naked single. Look at that. It sees 1, 8, 6, 5, 9 in the row, 3, 4, 7 in the column. That's a 2, and that's going to sort out some stuff. We get a 3 and a 5 here. Now we know what this is made of because it needs a pair that add to 10. Has to be 9, 4, 6 now. Yeah. And that must be the 4 at the bottom. And this is there's a 7 here, and that's a 2. And they do add up to 17. This is a 7 to make up the column. Ooh, 21 now must include a 9 because it doesn't have a 6. Because the only way to do it without a 9 is 8, 7, 6. So now there's still 2 ways. It's either 9, 8, 4 or 9, 7, 5. Which makes this either 4 or 7 here. That's 6, 9. Now, what about this 13 that doesn't include 4, 6 and 9? I don't know, 8, 3, 2. Oh, hang on. That may be all that it can be. That's really weird. Is that? No. I mean, it can be the obvious. That is also 13. So it's either 8, 3, 2 or 1, 5, 7. Because one of them has to have an 8 in. And has to be 8, 3, 2. And the other one is 1, 5, 7. So I'm just going to colour those. One is 8, 3, 2 and one is 1, 5, 7. Because I'm not going to be able to use that yet, and I'm probably going to forget it. Now by Sudoku, this is 1, 2, 3 or 4. This is also a 12 sum. That doesn't feel very helpful at the moment. Oh, this is naked. Look at that. 1, 5, 8, 9 in the column, 2, 4, 3, 7 in the row. That's a 6. That finishes off box 8 for us. This is a 5, 8 pair. This is a 9 because we've got 3, 4 and 9 left and it sees that group. 3 and 4 here. Now we've got no little killer clues in this region of the grid, annoyingly. So that's become 9, I suppose. Oh, and this, right, this is either 4, 9, 8 or 7, 9, 5. So look, I've got a 5, 8 pair. That's weird as well. 1, 6 here. 1 of 3, 4 and 1 of 5, 8 here. There's definitely a 2 in these cells. I just don't think that's got any information that's useful. What about this 13 sum? If these were max 7 and 2 there, well, actually that could be a 2, 2 pair or a 3, 1 pair. If they were minimum, there's a lot more scope. That's not okay. But by Sudoku, this is 2, 4, 7 or 8. By Sudoku, this is 2, 3, 4 or 7. So these possibilities are a bit limited. The absolute minimum goes 2, 1, 3, 2, which is 8. 5 degrees of freedom on that. So this can't be an 8. 11, 12, because you would come to more. And there I get a bit stuck after that. Gosh, we've done all these clues down here. They're all completely done. This one is not finished. 9s. No, I don't know. I don't know what to do with 9s. 13. Oh, this adds up to 10. Now, that's somewhere to focus that I haven't looked at. It's not 2, 3, 5 because of that. So there is a 1 in it. Yes, that's good. Okay, so there's a 1 there, and that becomes a 2. Now there isn't a 2 in this, so that's not a 2. It is either 1, 3, 6. Oh, it can't be 1, 4, 5. It must be 1, 3, 6. So that is great. That is great. That's just the sort of thing we needed. That is a 1, 3, 6 triple. That can't be 3. Much more importantly, this can't be 3. This is a 2. That's an 8. 4, 5, 7, 9 still to place in the box. 9 in one of those, 4 in one of those, 5 in one of those, and 7 in one of those. Forgive the pencil marking. I just want to get an impression of what's going on. 1, 3, 2, 6, 1, 3, 6, 2, 5. This is 7 or 8. This is either 8, 3, 2, in which case it goes that way, or it's 7, 5, 1. And again, they're quite restricted. So there's only 2 possibilities for each cell. So 6 in this row is in one of those 2. 5, 2, 1, 3, 6. 9 in this row is in one of those 2. And that completes the work there. Oh, this has become a 2. Now that's not minimum. 5. This can't be a 7 anymore. It would be too big. That's interesting. Can this be a 7? 7, 2, 3, 2. That's too big. So these are low digits. Now, can they all be low? 4, 2, 4, 4. Oh, that adds up to 14, and you could reduce one of these 2 by 1. I was hoping to make that a definite 7. Oh, it's an interesting sum going on there, though. 9, 8, 5, 6, 1. And we've got this 21 sum to consider as well. And maybe that's beginning to... It still doesn't feel very helpful, I have to say. Don't know what that is, do I? 1, 3, 4, or 5 by Sudoku. That's not the kind of help I need. Now, this can't be a 6. Oh, look, this is looking at a 1, 3 pair. Sorry if you've been shouting about that. There's a 6. This is 2, 4, or 7. These add up to 12. Is that any use? They don't have a 6 in. So they're not 2, 4, 6 or 6, 5, 1. I mean, there must be still quite a few possibilities, including 3, 4, 5. There's not many clues left to play with, though. Remember, these add up to 21. 9, 8, 5, 6, 1. 2, 3, 4, or 7 there, not sure. 8, 6, 1, 3, 5. These are from 2, 4, 7, or 9. Now, that can't be a 9, because neither of these can be a 2. So, can it be a 7? These can't be 2, 3, but they could be 4, 1, if that was 1, 7, 4. This would be 2, 9. I think that would work. So that could be a 7, and alternatively I think it's much easier for it to be a 4 or a 2. So that hasn't really yielded. Ah, now this is 12. Oh, I haven't looked at that in ages. This can't be a 9 anymore, because that's huge. If this was a 7, that would be a 5, and that would be too much. So this is a 4. There we go. I've been missing it for ages, but I've got it now. This is going to do a lot of damage, actually. 5, 8, 7, 9, 6. That can't be 7. This can't be 4. Well, I'm sure it is going to do some work. I was sure it was going to do some work. I'm not certain now. 1, 3, 5, 8. Now, that 12... Oh, yes, 12 there. So we get a 1 here. Sorry, I'd forgotten to finish that off. 3 there. So 1, 5, 8. There's no 4 in these. Okay. Now, how are we going to do 12 here? 1, 7, 4. Or... I don't think this can be a 2, because with a 4 there you'd need a 6 here, and with a 3 there you'd need a 7 here. So that's not a 2. It is 1, 7, 4. I think this is going to get us done. I don't know, that may be rash, but 6, 1 are sorted out. That can't be a 4, that's not a 3. This hasn't really changed. I keep thinking that is going to get altered by what we're doing, and it keeps not happening now. in this column, this is 3, 5 or 8. Oh, I've got a 5, 8 pair there. 5, 8, 9, 2, 6. That is 4 or 7. So this is a 1, 3 pair, weirdly. Now, one of these up the middle was 1, 5, 7, and the other is 2, 3, 8. Excuse me. There we go. Right. Friday's often a busy day on the phone. Now, it's not quite finished. I'm going to need to either produce some magic on the 21 clue or the 13 clue, I think, because everything else is sort of done. Unless I'm meant to be able to disentangle these. 2, 3, 8. That could be 3 with a 2, 8 pair there. Or 2, 3, 8 here. Then that's a 1, that's a 5, that's a 7. Let's put in the candidates. 5 and 7 or a 2, 8 pair. That's all of them in the purple cells. 3 and 5, no, what is it? 5 and 6 must be in these. One of them's a 5. 9 and 8 must be in these. One of them's an 8. Oh, goodness. Come on, pencil marking. Come to my aid. Now, whatever that is in one of those and in one of those. That doesn't help. This is 4, 5 or 8. Okay, I'm going to have to consider this, although I don't love it. The minimum is 2, 3, 4, 3, 1, which adds up to 13. That's not a helpful minimum. Okay, let's look at this again. Oh, there's a parity thing. Even plus odd plus even is already odd. So this has to be even to get to the odd total. So that's a 2. These now have to add up to 9. They are 7 and 2. That has been straightforward and it has been for a while. We get a 1 here. So we know that green is 1, 5, 7 and purple is 3, 8, 2. And we know the order since we got that 2. And now I'm going to be able to finish. That's a 1. This is not a 1. We've got a 5. We've got an 8, 9 pair here. And that makes this a 4. And that makes this a 3. That makes this a 4. Now, how are we doing on this sum? Okay, that's a 3, 6 pair. In fact, we know the order. Right, there's a 3 at the bottom of the grid. So 11, these have to add up to 10. 7 and 3 is the only way to do that. Now, these added up to 21, so that's an 8. And we've finished the first 3 columns, and we've finished the last 3 columns, and now we are very much finishing off with Sudoku. And that's a nice puzzle. That is classic Akash, actually. 19 minutes. Yeah, I mean, it is classic Akash. If I'd been doing that in competition, I'd have been angry at myself at taking so long, such a long time. It doesn't really feel that long when we were doing it here, and it's a great relief after yesterday's brilliant puzzle, but hard. But that was great. Excellent. Thank you very much. Thank you for being with us. I hope you had a go at the puzzle as well. That was good fun. Nice stuff from Akash. Double helpings, we called it. And there we go. That is today's output on Cracking the Cryptic. Hope to see you again tomorrow. I'll get on the phone to Simon now. And bye for now.